Bonjour. Hi, everybody. This is Christian Louis-Col at Baselworld is back in Geneva during the Geneva Watch Days, and I am going to introduce Ikepod because Ikepod is back too with Baselworld. So as you may know, Ikepod is now 25 years old. It's a brand which was created in '94 by Mark Newson. Originally, it was the brand Pod, and then in '96 it became Ikepod. During many years, Ikepod has been an UFO in the watchmaking world, and it was definitely the first ever concept watch. So, yeah, the first concept watch because in these times there were no much independent, no Max Busser, no De Bethune, no all these beautiful brands that are around now. There were only Ikepod with UFO shapes, big watches with 46, 47 millimeters, and definitely it was a blast in the industry when it was launched at Baselworld 25 years ago. So, yeah, not talking too much, I am going to directly present you some watches, including a big novelty that we are presenting here in exclusivity at Baselworld is back, this pop-up in Geneva. So I will show you, first of all, a vintage, what I call a vintage Ikepod, an Ikepod generation 2 of 2010, an Horizon, so you will discover the original design of the UFO watch. So this is an original Ikepod, and I will explain you more about that. So if you are a bit familiar with Ikepod, you will definitely discover this unique style, and you will also recognize a very famous strap that is no longer on the current range, current Ikepod, and definitely you will see this UFO shape, and also here the small hemipod, the small bird, and a monocoque case, because the watches were assembled by the top from the really beginning of the brand, 94, 96. The watches were assembled by the top. So you can see the shape is like a UFO, an ovni in French, and definitely a rare construction. And at this time, during the launch, big sizes, really, yeah, UFO shape, and 46, 47 millimeter when, if you remember, in this old time, the watches were 36 millimeters and definitely not 46. Only some Panerai, etc. were 36, 47 millimeter. So the brand was quite famous because you could find this brand in the most beautiful shop in the world. Let's drop some names: the West Time in Los Angeles, the Hourglass, Chronopassion in Paris, many beautiful addresses like that, boutique of high-end horology. And Ikepod was quite famous to the designer, to the people of the watch geek, the watch lovers, all the people who were wearing an iconic watch wanted an Ikepod, the people of the fashion industry, and even during years, Ikepod was at Colette in Paris, and even till the end. And Ikepod was really successful during, let's say, 20 years. Had a lot of up and downs, and but definitely was a big success. The brand was put on rest in 2012, and just to put you in the picture, during all this year, the prices point were from 5,000 to 25,000 Swiss francs, a bit the same in euro or in US dollar. So the generation 2 from 2008 and 2012, the watch in titanium, the watch I showed you, was 12,000 Swiss francs. So it was Swiss made and with an ETA movement inside, and it was quite a beautiful watch, but a bit expensive, I must admit. So in 2012, the second owner of Ikepod put the brand on rest, and on rest was asleep, the brand was asleep, and from 2012 to 2017, Ikepod disappeared a bit of the point of sale and of the watch community, of the watch history, and I decided in 2017 to buy the brand, to buy the design, and to relaunch the brand, but much more affordable. So I didn't want the brand to die. I wanted the brand to be alive and to let new generation discover this brand. So initially, we did a Kickstarter to relaunch the brand because the idea and the motto was to say, same design, new prices. So I will show you directly what we did for the first Kickstarter in 2018. So we decided to cut the price by 20. It was no more Swiss made. It was then proudly made in Hong Kong with the same design, but for the watches were there assembled by the back and no more by the top. As you can see, we kept a buckle which was on the first ever Ikepod, the C-slug, and no longer the pin buckle. So we definitely we have a new strap still in silicone, and we decided to keep the UFO look to revive the brand. But as you can see, the watches are now assembled by the back. It's a bit technical, sorry, but they are no longer assembled by the top, they are assembled by the back. And for this first collection of duopod 42mm and chronopod, I will show you after, we decided to use quartz and to pay an homage to the Ikepod in the shape and in the design of the dials. And I asked Emmanuel Guet. I'm sure that you know by name Emmanuel because he committed the Royal Oak offshore 25 years ago, and we relaunched two models. So this is the duopod 42mm. When I say 42mm, it's more 39mm on the Wirst because we do not have lugs on an Ikepod, so you cannot compare with another watch. And the UFO shape, it's very comfortable at the back, so you do not feel the watch on the Wirst. So it's more 39mm. And also we launched with Emmanuel Guet during the Kickstarter the chronopod. So it's a quartz chrono, and the retail price here were now retail in Swiss francs. They are 650 and 790 Swiss francs retail. So these watches had a beautiful success. So we had many bakers, around 1,000 bakers who ordered our watches and were delivered in 29. So we went again with Baselworld as a watch incubator in 2019, and we were very happy to find some distributors, for example, for Japan, etc., and to find new consumers, because we are not a totally on the web brand. We are still a classic brand with distributing through distributor, retailer, point of sales. But we also, for sure, do sales on the web. At the moment, it's 50% of our turnover. And definitely, we were very happy to be back in Baselworld with the duopod and the chronopod. In 2020, we decided, because it was a big request of our fan base, to launch the Megapod, an automatic 46mm. We decided to revive an automatic following the request of our fan base. Just again to put you in the picture, our customer, some didn't want to pay 10,000, 12,000 for an Ikepod at this time, and they were very happy to pay a portion of the price. And because this Ikepod, I am showing you a collab we did with a New Yorkese artist called Tom Christopher. It's my favorite painter, and the name of this watch is Skater in the Sky. It's limited to 200 copies in the world. So definitely we were happy to come back again with an automatic 46mm, filling 33mm on the Wirst. And again we did a Kickstarter during the lockdown, so it was a lockdown Kickstarter, and we launched that. And except this dial, which is done with Tom Christopher, this famous artist, definitely we asked Alexandre Peraldi, who spent many years as art director at Beau & Mercier, to commit the Megapod dials, and we were very happy to have him on board. As you can see, first it was Emmanuel Guet, after it was Alexandre Peraldi. The next watch I'm going to show you, it's another designer, because we are not a watch brand. We are a design brand. So it means that Ikepod could be another product than a watch, and maybe you could have surprised in the past. In the past, there were some beautiful objects like hourglass, and definitely Ikepod is not. It's not about the complication. It's not about the motor. The motors. It's just about the design. So for sure, in the past, we had some complication like GMTs, like Grand Date, etc., with Dubois des Pras, with La Joux-Perret, with all these people. And maybe one day we will come again with that things, but it has always been, ETA movement with additional modules. So we are not a motorist, and we are designer. So in each story we do, we want to have designer on board, because this is a house for collab with designer. Because what we feel is that we never found a designer who was successful in the watchmaking industry, apart a bit. Definitely Ikepod from now 94 and since 94, and definitely we ask designer to help us. And we were very pleased on the Monday evening to give the opportunity to Baselworld is back to present the new Seapod. The Seapod is the new watch designed by Fabrice Gonnet. Fabrice Gonnet is well known to have worked with ISEC and have done the perfect Medusa of Max Busser, which I love. And this is the big novelty of this year. You will see it's a mix of design. If you know Ikepod, between the first ever Ikepod produced and the UFO case of 97. I show you now. This is the new baby of Ikepod. This is the Seapod. So this is again an UFO shape, again a watch which is definitely an UFO. And here we have something very interesting, which is we are taking the dial of the watch was called the C-Slug in 94, 96, and we mixed that with the UFO shape of the Hemipod, the Megapod, etc. So we have here a 46 millimeter watch, 200 meters, automatic with 42 hours of power reserve, and look at the beautiful integration of the rotating bezel. Look at the purity of the index. So it's still something very designed. I will turn the bezel for you. And it's very easy to turn the bezel, even if you don't have here anything to take it. So it's quite easy to operate. And this is the big novelty of this year. We are very proud of this watch. I show you the black PVD one, the black PVD version, which I love too. And definitely this is a novelty, which is so cool. And as you can see, this is black PVD. And still, 200 meters, we could have go to 300 meters without the see-through glass at the back, but we decided to keep the glass at the back. And yes, so we are very happy to present this novelty in exclusivity at Baselworld is back. And we look forward. Again, this is Fabrice Gonnet who committed the watch, and that's it. So I hope you have learned a little bit more about Ikepod. I hope, like me, you are enjoying all this day about the watches industry, about the fact that we are back with Baselworld. We will be back again with new product, with new surprise next year. For the big return to our normal life. This week we were so happy to be there, meeting editors, meeting point of sales, meeting friends all over the world. It was fantastic to be there after all these months of lockdown. And yes, definitely, Ikepod is back. I remind you, the price are between 650 Swiss francs to 1,400, for example, for the last watch I show you. You can go on ikepod.com and spend some time, cool, relax, to see all the novelty, but in addition, And on the top of all, you can see the museum. If you go on the website, a bit on the left, up, you will see museum section. So you will see the watch we are owning in our private e-museum. So you can discover more about Ikepod. You will see also a vintage corner where we have Generation 2 watch for sale, like the cows, like fantastic pieces, even the one I show you today. And yes, just discover about our designer, about our story. I hope you had a pleasant time with me. It was Christian Louis, live stream from Baselworld. I wish you all the best and tous mes vœux, tout bon depuis Genève. And see you soon around the world, I hope. Bye bye, cheers.